Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon White 2. I'm your host, the PokeGamer. In the last episode, we kind of finished off Route 5. I squeaked around in my chair at the beginning of this episode, and yeah, so we made our way to Driftveil and started exploring around a little bit. We talked to a lot of, if not all of the NPCs that were on the outside of, you know, like all of the buildings and whatnot. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering all of the interiors of all the buildings, seeing what all we can, you know, see here, and yeah, so there's a lot of good items, and by a lot I mean there's like 5 or 6 maybe. This place here, as you can already tell, as you can obviously see, this guy is a move tutor. He requires red shards. You can get moves, the more notable moves that you can get from him are things like Iron Head. Bounce was decent on Gyarados for some time. Signal Beam isn't a bad move. There's also Super Fang, which helps, you know, catch shinies and stuff if you wanted to. You also get Seed Bomb, you get Low Kick, you get Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, and Ice Punch here. So it's very good to kind of collect your shards, as you can plainly tell. There are also tutors for the green shards, the blue shards, the yellow shards. I don't remember if there's any other colors, but I'm sure that if there are other colors, and I'm just forgetting them for whatever reason, there's tutors for them as well. Now this I didn't actually I did not know that this was here. I never actually picked that up for whatever reason. I don't know why. I never knew that the air balloon was actually here. So very good, very competitive item. It's a one-time use, but in competitive, like through a Wi-Fi battle or whatever, it doesn't get used up after the battle's done and you get back into your actual game. So it's a good item to obviously have. So I do recommend you pick it up, especially if you still plan on doing like battles with your friends via Gen 5 and doing it by the infrared connection rather than, you know, wireless, which, you know, limits you to who you can actually play against, of course, but I mean, it's still a thing. So we're in the little market area right now, and there are several things that you can get here. More importantly, there are the senses, or the incenses, I guess. I'm going to be picking up a couple of these, of course. They have some merit to them, so it's kind of okay to get them. Like the Lax Incense helps increase my, decrease the opponent's accuracy. What's it called? The Luck Incense helps increase our money. And I think I also picked up the Pure Incense. I don't really remember if I did or not, but yeah. Oh yeah, I did. It reduces the chances of running into a wild Pokemon, so yeah, I did pick that up. You also have the herb shop. You also have the market, which gives you Moo Milk, which for 500 for one, or you can just buy a dozen of them. Moo Milk is easily and arguably one of the best items in the game, at least early game. I've mentioned this whenever we get to this point in Pokemon Black and White. It heals you by 100 HP, and it costs the same amount of money as a super potion, so it gives you double the health recovery for the same price. It's very much worth picking up, so highly recommend that you do if you haven't already. So cool thing about the Pokemart here as well, we're obviously not there, but just a bit of friendly information. Dust balls are in the Pokemon centers now, or at least in this one, so something else that you can kind of, you know, think to get, because there's a cave coming up, there's the fact that you can use them at night, stuff like that. So it's kind of recommended to just kind of pick up some. I probably will. I kind of didn't like realize it until after I was done recording the actual gameplay, so I mean, there's that. There are a few other really good, how do I put it, items that you can still get. They're apparently as, like something that you can just find or whatever. Ultra Ball is found via dowsing machine. I don't know where at exactly. You can also find a Habenberry, you can get the Shell Bell, the Expert Belt, TM63, which is Embargo, the Air Balloon, which we already got, a Calcium, we get a Big Root, a Luxury Ball, and an Everstone, all in Driftveil City. For anyone who doesn't remember or doesn't know what the Shell Bell does, it's kind of like a leftovers, but it only works if you happen to damage the opponent. So if you damage the opponent, then you heal back some health. It was a very popular item for things like fear strategies, because of using something like, I don't know, Aaron, for example. If you use Endeavor, that counts as damaging the opponent, so the Shell Bell will heal you back to max, and then you do it again and again and again and again and again, and then you kind of just screw your opponent over. So I mean, that's kind of a strategy, even though it's not really consistent or anything competitively, so I really don't recommend you do it. But hey, if you want to, it's more power to you. I don't know if any of the black and white items are still lying around. I know that there was a water stone in black and white. There was also even a heart scale, so I mean, there's that. But I mean, like, all the important items we kind of just get in this episode. I don't know if I missed any or not. Not all important ones I don't think I missed, but like other items, I'm not entirely sure if we really missed them. Not that a lot of those other ones that we could have missed are all that important, but I don't know. I think there's also another tutor here that gives the pledges. I don't really know exactly. I don't think we ever encountered it while I was recording the gameplay, so maybe they were moved. I think they were moved to like Lintimus Town or something. I'm not entirely sure. That's what I want to kind of say, but again, I could be wrong, because I don't ever remember walking into anyone that was willing to teach me the pledges. So, and on top of that, we you know, kind of covered all the interiors of Driftveil, so I mean, that was also a thing. No, actually, now that I think about it, I think the pledges have been moved to the Pokemon World Tournament, I think. Because I know that the mover learner is there now, but I mean that's kind of a thing. Fun fact, and I'm gonna be doing this a lot whenever we get to it, and I can start doing it off screen. You can acquire shards at the Pokemon World Tournament, and the way you do this is you lose. You just straight up lose. You don't win. You could probably make it to the final battle if you wanted to, and then lose if you want. But I don't think it matters as long as you lose. So if you lose, you have a chance, or I think it's like a 25% chance to get any one of the shards, because it just says, you know, you get it as a gift by losing at the Pokemon World Tournament, and it says the same thing for the red, the blue, the yellow, and the green shards. So there's that. There's a lot of other things that we need to cover there, though, and yeah. Another thing I might actually do, of course, off screen, because you don't really need to do the tournament you know, on screen, of course, at least not all the time. The reason why I say I kind of want to do that, though, off screen, is because there's a lot of good items that you can get. Of course, we've kind of covered this in the past with like the Battle Frontier and whatnot, so I'm not going to really bother hiding it. You can get things like a Life Orb, Focus Sash, the choice items, things like that. And unlike in like X and Y and whatnot, where they cost an arm and a leg, they only cost, like, okay, for example, the choice items, they all cost 24 battle points. In X and Y, they're like 48. You literally have to go through the like first 20 battles of the singles, like the easy singles, and even then that only allows you to get one of your choice items or whatever you might want to get. That's a 48 BP item. So I mean, Black and White, or rather Black and White 2, had the whole World Tournament / Battle Frontier whatever shit down completely correct. They had it completely correct. I have no idea why they decided to change their formula, but they did. Oh well, right? So, in case you hadn't been paying attention to the game, I'm kind of rambling here. We are battling one of the former sages of Team Plasma. He's obviously a part of this whole X-Team Plasma thing right now. What the X-Team Plasma members are doing, which will be spoiled in like 5 seconds anyways, they are taking in Pokemon that were abandoned by their trainers and taking care of them. So they're trying to like make up for what they did in the past, you know, the past 2 years or whatever. And I mean, it's cool. They not only learn from their mistakes, but they're trying their best to right what they've wronged, I guess is a good way to put that. And I kind of screw up in this episode, by the way, and, like something very minor. I keep forgetting that it works like that, which is annoying. But we'll get around to it whenever we actually get around to it. I don't know when we can actually find another Pokemon like it, but I mean, we can find another one like it at some point. I think we find one on the next route. I'm not sure. I mean, once we beat the gym here, we can use Fly, which means we can do a lot of things. I actually forgot that that was also a Pokemon. Completely forgot about that, but whatever. So in here we see a whole bunch of Pokemon. I think we have a Scrafty, or a Scraggy, I should say, a Herdier, and I think that's a Joltik, as well as like a few other Pokemon that are lying around here. Anyways, Hugh's kind of flipping out because technically Rude and the other team members, or Team Plasma members here, were all kind of around and active when Hugh's sister's Purloin was stolen, and he kind of blames them despite the fact that they've changed. So, I mean, not really fair, but yeah. Anyways, he's got a little he has a little favor to ask of us. He wants us to take this Zora. Now, this Zora, if you want to have a good Pokemon for your not your Let's Play, but your your own personal playthrough, it is one of the best Pokemon that you could actually receive in-game for free. It has a hasty nature, which means you can go physical or special with it, and every single one of its IVs are all 30. I know this because back when PokeCheck was a thing, once I had my own hard copy of Black and White 2, I wanted to check its IVs to see if I couldn't like soft reset or whatever, like if it was actually impossible to soft reset for a better nature and everything. And upon uploading it, I found that it had 30 IVs and everything, and upon looking further into it, I saw that the nature and everything was set. So you have a decent nature. It's not the best, of course. Timid's technically better, but considering that every IV is 30, it's pretty good competitively as well as just in general. So here's where I start do the little mess up thing. This is one of N's Pokemon, okay? I think you saw the whole trainer ID thing. N's Pokemon have something very special when they're sent into battle. The problem here is Zora comes out as the last Pokemon in your party, so nothing shows. If you would like to see this for yourself, I recommend that you put Zora in your party and put everything else that's in your party into your PC temporarily, so that way you can actually see what it looks like when you send it into battle, because it's the only way you're going to see it, at least with the Zora. The thing is if I'm not mistaken, once you get this Zora, a lot of other Pokemon that N had in the previous game are now found in the wild. He never kept them, he befriended them, and he released them after he, so I mean, there's that. They all have set natures. I don't know what their IVs are exactly, but it's worth picking them up because they're really cool. There is a downside to this, however, and I honestly hate the fact that it's like this. If you transfer them up to X and Y, they lose their special feature that they have in Black and White 2. I believe I transferred up his Zora, and it doesn't have the special feature that it has in Black and White 2. So, I mean, that's kind of a thing as well. So yeah, we don't really have much time left, of course, so we're not going to get very far into this gym, but yeah. So as you'll notice, there's kind of a bit of a graphic problem here. Normally this gym is supposed to be dark, and it lights up upon each platform that you arrive on. So for whatever reason, my game decides to just be like, hey, we're just going to show you the entire room. I guess this is good for you, the viewer, if you are having trouble getting to the gym, because then you'll be able to see where you're supposed to go. But the way that the actual game works, it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be more along the lines of, you know, you have to go to each area to make them light up. So, I mean, there's that. So considering we don't really have much time left, in the next episode what we're going to be doing is continuing through the gym and hopefully beating it, and then we'll be moving towards the next town afterwards. We'll actually know the World Tournament, and then, yeah. So if you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.